heading up to Future Shock Direct today, which is a 12C in Sleepy Hollow. I think we've put a couple sessions on it over the last couple years. There's a new route just to the left of it called Shock Therapy, which is a 12A that we would also like to get on today. It's a little wet, you can see by the ground, so we're hoping it's dry over there. The only problem with Sleepy Hollow on a lazy day like this is that it's all the way at the far end of the traps. So we're heading up the Stairmaster, and then we got maybe like a 25-minute hike over there to the base of the cliff. There's 3 lines on this wall now. So there's Future Shock Direct, which was top roped in the 80s and led in 2016 by Christian Fracchia, the local guidebook author. And it splits the difference perfectly between R and X rated climbing. The crux is here at the crest of a run out, which is over terrible gear. It's 2 rusty old pitons, a horrible ball nut, and the smallest green dragonfly. But there's not really good rest on this entire route. So by the time you get up here, you're very tired. You have to pull the crux at the most run out point, and you're way over some very bad gear. So it's a very serious lead. Not only is it scary, dangerous run out, cruxy climbing, it's also on flaky, not the most inspiring holds. And don't blow it, because it's not clear if any of this gear will actually hold.
So there's also the original Future Shock line, which doesn't go directly up but breaks off left, which is 12A. That's what I'm going to be trying, because Future Shock Direct is very hard. But this seems a little easier. The beginning of the climb is still the same, still difficult, but not looking too bad up here.
The original Future Shock line climbs basically up this white rock into this left-facing corner, and then it breaks left here and climbs a crack to the top. Future Shock Direct goes from this left-facing corner straight up the face through that run out. And then a new line, which was only FA'd a couple weeks ago, kind of straightens the original Future Shock line. It's called Shock Therapy. That was put up by my friend John Albright. It starts up, climbs up this blank face, up to there, and then finishes into the original finish of the Future Shock line. So you kind of have two separate lines here on the wall. Just came off of Shock Therapy, the new line, and didn't set up the camera, and of course I flashed it on top rope, so I figured out some gear. I think it was originally led using some bouldering pads, which I don't have. So I'm going to use a little micro nut behind the bad flake, and then another good nut at the top of the crux. And then from where the directional is, it's pretty much 5'10" to the top. So once I get past these 2 scary nuts of climbing, it should be in the bag. I was going to warm up and didn't think that I would flash it, and I did. So that's it. So it's Sabrina's turn to warm up.
I'm not even wearing my shoes.
You can do it without them.
What am I doing?
After a clean top rope burn, I wanted to put a mock lead on this line in order to place the gear and see how it felt in sequence. The first nut you have to place kind of blind just by feel, so I wanted to make sure that I had that in my muscle memory. So we constructed a shaky landing out of a couple ropes and our day packs, and then I went for the lead. The hardest move is the first move right off the ground, probably one single V5 bouldering move. From there, it's like hard 11 face climbing over really bad gear until you get to the ledge where it drops down to 510. So I kind of knew that if I stuck the first move, that I would be pretty confident for the rest of the lead. This Gaston move after the first piece of protection is also kind of tenuous. The hold is not pebbly at all. It's very smooth, which is atypical for the Gunks. So even when you lock it in, it feels like your fingers could blow off of it at any moment. The holds after that are very small, but they're a little bit more in-cut and solid feeling. So really, it's these couple moves off the ground were really the crux of the route for me. And then once I stuck the move after the Gaston, I knew I wasn't going to fall.
You got it. Deep breath. Relax.
Over there, another cool thing, on the right side of this wall is another 12A that Sabrina was able to do on her first day, I think third attempt. This route is Numbers Racket from earlier in the season. Here's Sabrina climbing through the low crux bulge. What's really cool about this route is that it's a very unique crux. These holds are really slopey. They're really bad, and you have to do a pretty powerful pull off of them. So on lead, you get a good nut a little left of where her hands are now, and fire to the sharp crimp that she's on before you pull over the bulge. Over the bulge, you get this piece of gear, which is visible. It's a blue ball nut and a terrible flake. If you fell through this bouldering sequence, which is maybe V3, you would definitely rip that ball nut and fall onto the nut, which is about 5 feet below that, and that would land you very close to the ground from maybe 30 or 35 feet. Thankfully, if you make it through this sequence, you get a bomber cam underneath this roof, and then you get good gear through the rest of the climb to the top. Slipped the foot.
Eric gets the golden carabiner for the day. He sent